Why throwing money at your ads is killing your margins. If sales are down, brands will typically go, well, let's increase our ads budget. Or agencies might even give that advice to brands. But the issue there is you're not really understanding why sales are down. The important part, first off, is just checking your foundations and really understanding root cause. Because if you increase ads budget and you start spending more, but you haven't actually fixed the problem and the reason why sales are down, you're just wasting more and more money. So I'm going to talk about the things that you need to be thinking about before ramping up your ads budget when you're seeing sales drop. So why do brands default to ads? And there are some key reasons for it. It's an automatic response. Brands have been doing it for years. Sales are down. What do you do straight away? You increase ads because you want to drive more traffic to your listings. It's a typical response that you get from agencies as well. When your sales are down, typically agencies will say to you, spend more money. And you'll find that even internally, your investors, the board will automatically think that you need to increase your ads budget to ramp up sales when they're in a decline. But that is very much a panic response. It's about, yes, you're doing something and being active, but it's not strategic. And that's the part that's missing. You need to first have your strategy in place and really know what you're doing before and really understand why sales are down before ramping up your budget. The hidden problems that ads is masking, first off, is that your product offering just isn't strong enough. You don't have a key USP, and it's really hard for customers to see that point of differentiation and why they should be purchasing your product over a competitor's product. Also, it may be then down to price. It might be that you're too expensive in the market, and especially if you don't have that point of differentiation, why is the customer going to pay a lot more for your product than they could purchase from a competitor elsewhere? And then it comes down to reviews. It may be that you've got some reviews on your site, but they're not great, or you might not have any reviews. That can be a key reason why your products and sales are down. So if you then start putting more ads budget into a product that just is not strong enough, doesn't mean you're going to get more sales. It means that you're going to lose more money on advertising. The second part here is where you're driving traffic. If you're driving traffic to a product page that just isn't converting. Now, it might not be converting because of the things that I mentioned earlier in terms of price and reviews, but it might be that your images aren't great. They're not really highlighting the key features of your product, or just the main product image itself doesn't really make your product stand out or do it justice. It might be that they can't answer the questions that they want to know about your product. The information and the detail is not there. There's so many reasons, and these are the basic foundations, yet we see so many brands not laying these foundations down. They think that ads is the answer, throw loads of traffic at your product pages, but at the end of the day, these product pages need to convert. So the first thing you need to do before even chucking ads budget is making sure that you have all the bells and whistles on your product pages. The third part here is actually when we look at margin. Do you actually have the money to throw at ads? Because it's all well and good saying let's increase ad spend, but actually, if you're already paying out all these fees to Amazon, you're paying out all these fees for TikTok Shop, and you've got fulfillment costs, etc. What's your bottom line look like? What are your SKU economics? Do you actually have the budget in place in the first instance to actually push behind ads? Or is your pricing too low? Those are all the things that you need to think about rather than just throwing money at something. You need to understand what actually you have in a pot to be able to invest in advertising. And also, you need to know your numbers. We speak with so many businesses that don't actually really understand the key metrics. And when I talk about knowing your numbers, yes, I'm talking about conversion. You need to know what your conversion rate is like on your ads. You need to know what your conversion rate is like on your product pages. You need to understand all the key metrics. What is your ROI? What are you driving? What is actually the result of what you're doing, and understand all that detail and really understand what's working and what isn't working. You need to look at that attribution data. When you're driving, for example, if you're driving products to Amazon, are you seeing results from that? Or are you, when you're running ads, are you seeing greater results driving ads to your website? All of this data is something you need to be looking at. You don't want to be throwing budget at ads if you don't know what is actually working. So when ads do work, it's because you've got the foundations. You have got strong content. You've got strong product images. You have product listings and product pages that are converting. They've got the bells and whistles. You've got a product that actually customers want. They can see that point of differentiation and they look at it and think, I know why I'm going to pay X for your product, because I can see that it's got that USP and it answers the problem that I need to solve. And when I look at the content and read the content, I know exactly what the product does and it answers all my questions. The customer could see that there's positive reviews and authentic reviews as well. Ads works as well when you know, as I mentioned, you know your numbers, you know what you can and can't afford, and you know what's working. And most importantly, operationally, you are sound. You've got the inventory, you are able to manage your customer service, etc. Because that's the part that gets forgotten about. It's all well and good throwing budget at ads, but if you don't have the stock available, or you're not able to ship the product as and when you say you will, or you're not able to manage the inquiries that come through, then you're just creating a bad experience. So you need to make sure that you are all set operationally as well. So what you need to be fixing instead. So yes, I'm not saying here, don't increase your budget on ads, because ads does work and we run ads for all our clients and we're always having the conversation about increasing budget to grow sales. But that's because we've got the foundation sorted. So that's the key part. Have your foundation sorted. The right product pages. Make sure that you understand your SKU economics. You need to have dashboards that are showing you the data, the insights to know what is and isn't working. And also, you need to be building organic demand. Now, I haven't spoken about this, but it's really important. Yes, when you were talking about Amazon, a huge proportion of sales these days will come from ads. And you'll typically find that on TikTok Shop and so many other platforms, but you still need that organic growth as well. So make sure that you are looking at how you gain traction on your content on all these different platforms organically as well, because that's just as important. The paid part is really amplifying what works organically. More ads is not a strategy. Yes, it is something that you need to be doing, but you need to have, first of all, those foundations in place. That's where the brands are winning. Those brands that are really successful on e-commerce really have the basics nailed, and they are using ads to amplify what's already working. So make sure when you are looking at your ads budget and you're thinking sales aren't where they need to be, first off, take a look at your product pages, understand your conversion, take a look at what customers are saying, go and put yourself in the customer's shoes. Would you want to purchase your product if you were the customer going onto your website or your product pages? Get those basics right. And once you see what's working organically, then amplify it with ads. If you want to know more about how you can have the right strategy in place and just really understand the basics and even put the foundations in place, that's where eCommerce Nurse is there to help you. We support brands selling on Amazon, TikTok Shop, and their own D2C website. We help create the foundations with our design team, our photography team, our copywriting team to really make those pages pop. And then we really go into the data. We have all the reports and insights available, so we know what's working. So then our ads team can step in and amplify what's working and really help grow sales for our brands. If you want to know more, go to our website, ecommercenurse.com. We would love to hear from you.